I'm 15 years old, and for the first time, I'm realizing that life is challenging. The boys I like don't like me back. I'm drowning in homework. I don't really like my friend group. I'm worried I won't pass my driver's test. I'm realizing that life is full of challenges. And for the first time, I'm really aware of it. Simultaneously, I'm falling in love with Pinterest and I'm becoming obsessed with inspirational quotes. I'm addicted to reading inspirational quotes and I'm addicted to pinning them to my Pinterest board in hopes of building this archive of wise words that I can lean on during these trying times. I'm having sort of a philosophical awakening, or I think I am. I'm experiencing challenges and I'm seeking answers through wise words. For the first time, I feel present. And being present is kind of painful. Now, imagine during this time, someone comes up to me and says, "Hey, Emma, what's your favorite quote? What's the quote that you live by?" Now, you would think, because during this time I was going through a philosophical awakening, that my answer would be deeply profound and heavily thought out. Well, my answer would have been everything happens for a reason. Why would that have been my answer? Because during that time, that quote answered all the questions that I needed answered. My challenges at the time were painfully simple in retrospect. In the quote, everything happens for a reason, applied to all of my challenges in the most perfect way. But at the time, I hadn't analyzed that quote very deeply. I loved it on a surface level, and that was about it. For a long time, I thought I would get that tattooed on my body somewhere. As a teenager, as an edgy teen, I was like, I'm going to get everything happens for a reason on my arm so that I never forget that this is my favorite quote. And I have changed my mind. I will not be getting that tattooed. And I thank my lucky stars every day that I never got a Pinterest quote tattooed anywhere on my body because I'll tell you, inspirational quotes look really good on the surface, but when you start to analyze them, they usually have some holes. So I'm glad I never committed to an inspirational quote to the extent that I put it on my body. Very grateful. Everything happens for a reason is not a terrible quote because it does comfort many people in many different challenging scenarios. It's not useless. There's a reason why it's a popular quote. But as I'm growing older and I'm reanalyzing beliefs and quotes and mantras that I've lived with for many years, I'm starting to discover the flaws in these things. And I think that that's a good thing because the mantras that we repeat in our minds, especially during challenging times, are not irrelevant because what we tell ourselves kind of becomes true in a way. And so I think it's important to evaluate the quotes and mantras and words that we repeat in our heads to make sure that they deserve to be repeated in our heads.